Well, hey, what's good? It is Sly King, and welcome to another edition of the Extended Happy Hour. Now, if you have not watched any of the previous posts that I've done, I might want you to go ahead and go to my YouTube channel to watch some of the other videos that are there. Plus, on our hot1077radio.com page, you click on shows, you'll see some of the other posts that I've made. But I really want to talk to you about something, and I want your opinion, your insight. You can always send me an email, sly@hot1077radio.com, if it's something you want to discuss, you want me to share my thoughts on. Any of those things I want you to do, so send me an email, sly@hot1077radio.com. Now, all you have to do is pay attention to the news recently, and you see a lot of conversation about gun control and terrorism. But the question I have is, how do you define what is terrorism? Now, if the Las Vegas event had been done by someone who was from some Arabic descent or some other nationality, there's a very good chance it would have been immediately called terrorism. Better yet, if we gone back to Charleston and we found that those individuals who committed those crimes were of some other nationality, we would have called it terrorism. Or, let's even bring it closer to home, just recently in Sutherland Springs, Texas, had that individual that committed that heinous crime been someone of some other country, some other nationality, possibly linked to an organization that many of us have referred to be a terrorist type of organization, we would have called it, that's right, terrorism. So if you look at all these scenarios and situations, what you're noticing, the glaring thing that's standing out is, if you are a certain descent or certain nationality from a certain place, it's considered to automatically be called terrorism. So what happened to domestic terrorism? What happened to things that take place in our very own backyard that are considered to be terrorist type of events? Should it be based upon a nationality of an individual, or should it be based upon the fact that this is some type of terrorist attack? Because the bottom line, if you look at all these situations, they've happened on our very own soil, but yet we've yet to define them as to what they should be called. And so even down to the gun control, you haven't seen any movement really to kind of put some type of parameters and barriers on how do we stop these kinds of things from happening. And so you have to ask yourself these questions, because these are things that I've seen on social media, I've read different conversations about, and I've really been thinking to myself, why do we not call them what they really should be called? Or are we only saying that because this individual is of a certain background versus someone else? The bottom line is, it's still considered to be terrorism, only it would be considered to be domestic terrorism. And so those are things that I've seen. These are questions that I know many people have asked, and these are things that I'm thinking to myself, because we're living in a day and time where we're toting the line between calling certain things what they really should be called, but yet we're basing certain things that are only called a certain thing because of a certain race of the individuals that commit the crime. And it's unfortunate, but there has to be some type of change that takes place. Now, do I have the final answer to what the decision should be to resolve our issues as it relates to what do we do to solve some of the crime that we're seeing with the massive shootings and the things that are taking place? I don't have the final answer. I think there's honestly too much money tied into the people who are running the show. I think there's too much money with these organizations who are lobbyists and people who are supporting those that have the right to bear arms and all the things that go along with it. Those associations and organizations, they're benefiting too much, and there's too many reasons as to why they're not going to push the envelope to really cause some type of change to take place. But the bottom line is, no place that you would consider to be going at this moment should be considered to be a safe place. And that's unfortunate. That we live in a day and time where you can't go to church, you can't go to a concert, you cannot go to certain places without the fear of some of these things happening. And please don't misunderstand me. I think that crime of any sort, no matter who commits it, is wrong. But I also feel like we should call things as to what they should be really called if they fit the category of being a terrorist type of act. It shouldn't be based upon the fact that they're a certain nationality, but more or less, the crime that was committed should be the most concerning conversation. So I wanted to take a moment and come on and talk with you about this, because as I see all the conversation, I see all the commentary, I'm asking the question that I don't see a lot of people answering. Why are we not defining some of these acts as to what they really are? Or had the Las Vegas shooter been someone that had some supposed tie to some Arabic organization or some sort, we would have said terrorism. So let's think about these things. What do you think we should do? What are some thoughts you have as it relates to changes we need to see happen? While we're making conversations with our representatives for our various states, and what do we need to do? Because we as citizens have the ability to impact those decisions by the people that we vote and bring into office. So those are things I want to talk with you about. Those are things I've been thinking about. And tonight may more or less be more of questions than answers. But I really wanted to come on and ask you that and get your insight. Send me an email, slide@1077radio.com, for whatever your questions may be as it relates to this conversation, or if there's something else you want me to cover and discuss inside of the extended happy hour. I look forward to talking with you, and make sure you tune in Monday through Friday, starting at 6 p.m. for the happy hour on Hot 1077. Until next time, peace.